You spend a lot of time on the internet, don't you?
Have you been in touch with my ISP? Because I'm going to need to see your paperwork.
I'm just throwing stuff out. Just throwing stuff out there.
Try Before We Die, coming live in a recorded sense to you from the Bitter End, a private whiskey bar in the scenic southwestern corner of New Hampshire.
Ground
floor of this establishment. Malcolm, there's a lot of whiskey in here, and what's the goal?
To drink it. But I'm actually hearing the actual goal is to just keep resupplying the whiskey. That's what I'm hearing.
I love these modifications. We're just getting after whiskey. So the mailing address is 123 Send Us Whiskey at the Bitter End, southwestern New Hampshire. Mal, we're here to review and taste whiskeys for ourselves and share our experiences with folks out there.
Yep.
That's kind of fun, right?
It is, actually. I'm going to enjoy this transition back to the way we used to be, I guess.
I gotta fix this. Who does that? It's unbelievable.
Hey.
It's believable. It's like me in public. Believable.
Fonz. Hey.
Yeah. You're gonna jump the shark.
So, anyhow, let's go back.
Yep.
We're going to just grab a bowl.
Yep.
We're going to do some drinking. We're going to give them the honest opinion with a little bit more substance, I'm hearing.
Right. We're definitely interested in the review, the pairings, the experience, the ABV. What do we think? The region. Like, what are we learning about this whiskey?
So
not
again,
just do we like it.
Again, so before we get into this, I'm going to throw out one so that people can start to get some idea. ABV. What are you talking about, ABV? What does that mean?
ABVD. Penicillin, anyone? Alcohol by volume. That's the percentage marker on the side of the bottle.
And how is that figured?
So 43% ABV translates to 86 proof. So proof is double the ABV. Okay? So Scotch whiskey has to be a minimum 40% ABV. But oftentimes we'll see bottles that are registered as cask strength. So oftentimes whiskey comes out of the barrel somewhere in that 50, even up to 62% ABV, and they cut it down to a minimum of 40. But oftentimes they're looking for that sweet spot of flavor. So sometimes we'll see 43, 46, and you'll see lots of other numbers, 52.4 and whatnot. But it's the percentage of alcohol in the liquid.
So the burning question will be, for a lot, is higher ABV, more drunk you're going to get?
That is how that works.
All
right. So that's why 12 ounces of beer is a can of beer.
All right.
12 ounces of Scotch is the same amount of liquid, but amazingly risky and potentially deadly. So we do not advise, especially in one sitting over the course of an hour.
All right.
Okay?
So I think it's time to hit that button.
So we're going to find out what we're drinking. We're going to open it, let it breathe, and learn a little bit about that distillery. So here we go. Is it the Magic Box?
Isn't that a Who song?
That's a bus.
Magic Bus, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was off of Meaty, Beady, Big, and Bouncy. But I'm not sure. Here we go. We are going to open and experience bottle number 81. It's like right here, everybody. So don't look. So bottle number 81 is right behind me up above. So I'm going to hazard a guess that we're in an apple hour. You're looking. We're going to go for an apple hour. So we're going to get that bottle down and we're going to have that experience.
All right.
Okay? See everybody shortly at the bar with a bottle of apple hour.
I want to see why you just don't reach your hand up.
I was wrong. Mark it on your calendar, Malcolm.
I'm going to do it.
All right. 75 behind. 76, 77, 78, 79, 80 would have been an excellent choice. So it's bottle number 81.
I've never even heard of that.
So I could tell a little bit about this. So we have pulled the Wolfburn. Now, Wolfburn is a historic distillery that has only recently begun bottling whiskey again. And from what I remember, there are no known examples from the historic origin of this distillery. So this is a new distillery taking on a historic distillery's name and location, but there are no known examples of the original Wolfburn whiskeys other than folklore. So I'm excited to have this experience. This would be, I believe, a Highland. Let's see if we can prove me right. Wolfburn Distillery, Caithness, Scotland. I know the guys are saying, use the thing.
They should do the Mission Impossible music when they do that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, you're going to have to get it from the bottle because we're not going to get anything in here.
Just even trying to figure out the region here, everybody. But the labeling is so unfriendly. Non-chill filtered. I truly feel this is a Highland.
If we weren't on a set, you could use a light.
I know. I wonder if we've got something up above that will tell us more. You take a look. I'm going to stand up here for a second. Product of Scotland. Distillery name. Caithness. You know where Caithness is, Malcolm?
Oh yeah, I just right down the road.
Well, aren't you from there?
Yeah, no, I'm from England. This is Scotland.
Oh, that's why there's not an E in whiskey.
Okay, so you may not be able to read this.
All right. Does it say Highland?
And it doesn't say anything from the region. However, I can give you a couple of the notes if you want that.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, and that maybe to help us, and you might be able to tell us where this is from.
I can read this one better. It's a nice black.
So the aroma notes, fruit blossom meld with dried apples, light oak, flavors burst onto the palate, rich and sweet, including maple syrup, dark chocolate, almond, and fruitcake. And for all those out there who are probably are not from Europe or from England or Scotland, fruitcake is just basically a very heavy dessert cake that we have at Christmas.
I'm curious about that, Mal. While I open that bottle and let it breathe, will you just quickly grab your phone and Google up Wolfburn Distillery? Let's find the region.
I will say I have never heard of this before, ever. Not that I know all the distilleries. I would be kidding myself if I thought I was that good, but I have never heard of this place.
So this is the Langskip, non-chill filtered, handcrafted.
And you're saying Wolfburn, right?
Oh my gosh, 58% ABV.
Excuse me? Oh, yeah. All right.
Natural colors.
Wolfburn Distillery.
Is a Highland. You keep leaning.
I'm going.
I'm getting some confirmation on my guess from the set.
I'm getting asked if I'm old enough to venture into here. Alright. Wolfburn is the most northerly whiskey distillery on the Scottish mainland.
On the mainland, because Highland Park is the most northerly distillery, period.
Yes.
But it's on the Isle of Orkney. Okay.
Finest ingredients, and that's about all I'm going to get from there.
Okay. Well, let's drop the phone. We've confirmed a Highland. We've confirmed as far north as you can get in Scotland. We've confirmed a 58.5.
Good Lord.
Nope, pure 58. So that 0.5 is going to be the piece that made the difference. Non-chill filtered. The bottle that I was pulling from up above talked about being peated. This is not coming across that way. You talked about fruitcake and maple.
Maple syrup?
Yeah.
Dark chocolate.
You know why I like maple syrup?
Because you make it yourself?
I have a sugar house.
You do have a sugar house.
So I'm going to be curious if we're going to end up with this coloration, Mal. Where are you landing?
Okay, so let's just go with this one. I'm going to do this with the light. To quote one of our friends who has been on the set, that's almost like Chardonnay.
Straw.
Yep, straw coloured.
Light gold, straw,
Yep.
Chardonnay, very light wine colored. We've got it capped. It's breathing right now in the bottle. So again, I may, for some reason, I've done a lot of research, not really research, but I look into whiskeys quite a bit, and I truly do believe Wolfburn is this ancient distillery where there are no known examples, but that they've recently rekindled.
All right.
Yep. And so I don't think we've tried one. We have a few more examples up there, and I've not opened one before.
I don't think I've ever seen it. And now obviously this is local liquor stores. I don't think
No,
I've ever seen
these were purchased out of state.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Some of these were on our whiskey run that we took.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I like the label.
Yeah.
almost Game of Thrones-esque.
It's got a wolf on it.
It does have a wolf on it.
Yeah.
Very, very ornate. If I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's very ornate labeling.
Yeah. I think they can really see it here in terms of this nice silver and black contrast. Yeah. And there's this almost a Nordic theme right here. Do you see this right here? Like Viking flag on a ship or something, or sail.
Oh, actually, yeah. That's actually quite impressive.
Yeah. So I wonder what Langskip means.
I can't do it without using my phone. Mm-hmm. And I'll be banned.
You've been banned. Looks like it has some onion pot stills based on a description I see on the back, which should mean the lightest of the spirit rises to the top. So the onion pot is that bulbous bottom with that long spout, which means the lightest of the spirit travels up. So it's not capturing the depth of robust, but really the lightest of the spirit. I'm inclined, Mal, to experience this on our nose.
So again, we're going to do, basically we've trying to trap the aromas, but allow it to breathe in these glasses with the caps.
Can you wear this? There's your cap. Oh, see? It's your little poofy hair.
Yeah, it is.
You could be like Angus Young.
Yeah.
Maybe it looks better on me. Be like a little schoolboy.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, okay, here we go. The Langskip by Wolfburn, 58 ABV. So this has potential to be burny on the nose, but let's find out.
So I'm going to say, first off, that was rather disappointing in the sense that if we were capping this, I was expected to get like roasted.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't, which would tell me that they've done a really good job of masking the AVB.
Well, I want you to reel back in that word disappointing. I want you to think about the word of, I was surprised that it wasn't so burny.
I am really surprised.
Me too.
And it should be ABV.
I have the fruitcake sitting next to me. And in the glass.
Actually, yeah.
Do you get it? Did you pick it up? Right? Yeah.
If you're really breathing deep, you have to go for at the bottom.
Right. It's Grandma's kitchen the day after she made it. It's lingering. It's not as you open the front door.
But again, it's not really parlaying into something that is...
That high alcohol is deceptive.
It is.
Right, but
scary.
But that speaks
Yeah.
for maybe the quality of the whiskey
No
we're about to experience. So we're still in this really light gold straw
And do you
Chardonnay.
think that's something to do with the pot distillery that onion pot? Because it allowed it just the ease, the lightness?
It's the cleanest of the spirit, I think they would say. The cleanest of the spirit has been moved into the bottling. Okay, here we go. Maple syrup, fruitcake, Mal says. Wow. So very faint on the opening into the mouth, and then as it expands, it would almost like fill the balloon, and it poofs out your cheeks with this whiskey experience. It really fills the mouth with flavor.
This was probably one of the most bizarre experiences I think I've had out of a glass here to this day. That was almost like it trickled down across my tongue, went to the back of my throat, and then it was like an explosion of like some sort of vapor, some sort of heat, some sort of something, and my nose tingled. I'm like, that's really odd.
It is. It's this. It fills the balloon. Right, it just comes in.
Almost made my nose run.
Right, it comes in as if, I'm not quite. And then it's just like, poof.
So the tasting notes, I get a little bit of the maple. Mm-hmm. As you get off that front end.
On the tongue, the maple. Correct. Right in the beginning.
As you get off that very front end, as it starts to drift across your tongue to head down to this explosion that we're talking about, you catch that maple. The part I'm missing is this dark chocolate. I'm not quite getting this chocolatey, this richness that's there. It's almost like maybe because of the amount of alcohol involved with this, that is I'm it's bypassing and getting right to the end where it's exploding back into my nose.
I felt like almost maple butterscotch explosion.
See.
But when you remind me of the chocolate and of course the fruitcake on the nose, I can sort of maybe feel like the butterscotch is just a piece of that fruitcake, and so it is this maple dessert of some sort, and then bam, it just expands into this not burning, cleansing.
Actually, that's probably a good way of putting it, because it's not. It's weird, and that's what I'm going to reiterate on this. It is so odd that something with this much alcohol by volume, right? That it would be something that you expect to give you more of a fight. Oh yeah. You're gonna
Dragon's breath.
Yeah, but this has been so. I'm going to put it this way: so well crafted in the way they've pulled this together, that they've almost made it to the point where, like, wow, this is really easy going, except for that last spot where you get this burst that rises from right at the back of your throat, right through your nostril.
It is very clean liquor. It is not dirty liquor. And if y'all are whiskey drinkers, hopefully that will make sense to you. It is smooth, refreshing in the most intense way. It is not like medicinal or anything. And not that those are criticisms, because they're not. This is just an amazingly clean spirit that just comes in, and then as it gets this chance to sort of release all of itself, it really does. And again, I'm going to go with that maple, that butterscotch, that chocolate fruitcake, something, and then to this expansion of cleansing spirit.
And you can take like a deep, deep pull through your nose, and you do not feel that medicinal. You do not feel that burning. You just feel like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But when you take a drink of it,
yeah,
it becomes a whole different ballgame at the back end.
Yeah. Wow. So I've done a little water. Have you done a little water? I've been thinking a lot about what I'm going to pair this with here. Wow, this Wolfburn, the Langskip, the 58% ABV, handcrafted, non-chill filtered. It doesn't say cask strength, which is stunning to imagine if this came out at 62.7 and they've cut it down to 58, because to come out at a pure 58 is... I don't believe it.
No.
So this has been reduced to a 58, in my guess.
So I'm going to say, now that I've put some water into this, it's almost flipped it. Now the pronounced side is the front end, and you start to get more of those flavors, that fruit cake, that sort of nuttiness, the almond sort of, and you lose that burst at the backside, and I certainly did not feel it through my nose.
Right, it popped the balloon. The expansion is gone, the rest is there, and more noticeable, lasting, more lingering on the maple fruitcake, chocolate butterscotch. Because the expansion is gone, you're able to sort of have that experience for longer, and thus it's more pronounced.
And again, if you were to tell me this is what the
ABV,
I would...
Stunning, clean liquor. Wow.
So I'm going to take the easy way out of this.
I'm going for dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. Because if that's the case, then let's just play to its strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a touch of sea salt, dark chocolate. I don't see a percentage on here.
Oh, this is good.
Mildly sweet.
Yeah, this is good. I think I'm just going to eat the chocolate.
That was the right call.
That put some zip into it. Okay, now you can taste the butterscotch. I don't know about you, but that was... now you can taste butterscotch.
I got double check.
That almost like now becomes completely a butterscotch drink. Hands down.
That is a... Wow.
Now it's going to be one of those things which way I would rather like it. I already know what I'm going to say. because that makes it quite a different prospect.
It is. I just poured myself some more, right? And again, the explosion is back.
Yep.
Right.
But it's a different explosion. This is an explosion that starts from the very beginning, goes all the way through the drink, and you don't still don't get that poof through your nose. Yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive.
So, if you can get some of the Wolfburn Langskip, you ought to. This is a great bottling.
Yeah.
High ABV, not taking away from the flavor experience. Water seems to dull the explosion. The maple, the chocolate, the butterscotch, the fruitcake remain present in either presentation. What a clean whiskey.
Good for chocolate lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Good for people who have sinus problems. And good for people who like to put water in their drinks.
This is just a great whiskey. Wow. So Mal.
Who are we killing this time?
Rambo. So we're not killing anybody.
It's these poor languages.
We are mutilating somebody's language.
Just
So your pronunciation is on the left. Mine is on the right. So we are traveling to Vietnam, where the translation is 1, 2, 3, yo, which essentially is and now you have your drink. And it turns out in Vietnam, Mal, it is rude to drink alone.
I like that.
Right? So you can do the pronunciation on the right, though it really is sort of similar.
It is.
So in Vietnam, the drinking toast of 1, 2, 3, yo, which is sort of to drink, is Malt Hai Ba Yo.
Still licking chocolate.
I kept a little in my teeth.
Yeah.
And it just dissolved it away. That
was what liquid do.
I am stunned at this 58% ABV. It's my first opportunity to drink a Wolfburn. There are several here. I think I've been a little hesitant because it's such a new distillery, basing itself on a historical idea. That could they pull it off? And though nobody can really declare what they're attempting to pull off,
well, I think they pulled off a freaking great drink.
I think they've pulled it off, at least here in this Langskip, this high ABV, clean liquor whiskey experience.
See, now I can feel some warmth. It may be the fact that we just drank that glass, but you can feel it.
With a bearded man and a British guy.